everyone, it is your boy Jack here, and in today's video I'm going to be unboxing the March 2020 mystery mail call and everything. Now, for those of you who do not know what the mystery mail call is and everything, it is the Comic Tom exclusive subscription box, sort of a bit more dedicated to comic collectors and everything. In this month's box, there's you get about 5 to 7 different comics, including an exclusive and an exclusive comic and a print as well. I've had this box for about 3 months now, and it's not bad. It's interesting. I think probably the biggest thing that I would want to see with this box is maybe have different categories that you could order from. And what I mean with this is more like have like a sort of like have different age categories. So you have like the gold age, the bronze age, the silver age, the modern age, like that kind of thing, and have different ones of those, and then maybe have different comics with that. Because I find, like, for me at least, with these, it's harder for me to understand or really understand the value of older comics, because I'm not really a collector of the older comics. I more like and understand the newer comics and everything. That's the only critique I have, but let's go and unbox this month's box and everything. So, once we cut the tape, and not cut myself. So once we cut the tape and open up the box, you get this bag here. In the bag are all the comics and everything that are baked and boarded. One thing I should say, because I sort of just jumped into this video, is if you are interested in getting this box or even more information about this box, I'm going to leave it all down below. I'm going to leave Comic Tom's YouTube channel and everything. He's sort of he's a part of making this box and everything. He's a YouTube channel that does it and curates the box. So yeah, that's it. Let's go take a look at this month's box and everything. Let's take a look at comic number 1 here. Ooh, okay. This is interesting. Gives no information about what the comic is about itself, but sort of looks a bit more like a Virgin variant and everything. Let's sort of take a look. Okay, so this is Buffy the Vampire Slayer, issue number 3. Joss Whedon sort of attached to this comic and everything. And yeah, like this is interesting. I know nothing about Buffy the Vampire Slayer, to be 100% honest with you, just because I wasn't really, I don't know, I feel like I wasn't really a Buffy the Vampire kid. I was more, like, I wasn't really a part of that life or that series, so anything that comes to me when it comes to this series is a bit weird. I'm sorry, I'm trying to like get the light so it doesn't bounce off of it. There we go. So yeah, that's just the thoughts about comic number 1. It's a cool cover, it's interesting, and it's like pretty decently realistic and everything. So yeah, let's take a look at comic number 2 here, this one. Let's take a look. Ooh, okay, so this is the Teen Titans and everything, and you got like 2 people that are like wet and like one looks like they're dying. That's basically the review of this comic and everything. Let's take a look. So this is the Tales of the Teen Titans, issue number 84, I believe. Or no, it came out in August 84. It's issue number 45. This comic is done by Marv Wolfman and George Perez, and the actual dialogue on the actual paper says, please, you got to help us before it's too late. And it looks like this person's like nearly dying and this person is saving her life, or trying to. So yeah, that's basically it, and it's obviously a DC Comics because it's Teen Titans. Moving forward to the next comic here, comic number 3, we got this one. Ooh, okay. Ooh, this is a cool cover. I really like when like a purple or a blue is used as like a monochromatic color. Like something I love with like certain covers and everything. And it looks sort of like a Tomb Raider or like a Red Sonja kind of comic and everything. And yeah, like that's just me being judgmental when I look at the comic. Let's take a look though. So this is Top Cow Comics and everything. It's issue number 1, came out in December. This is Witchblade and Tomb Raider. And she sort of looked, one of them looked like Lara Croft to me, so that's how I guessed it. But I've never seen any of the Tomb Raiders either, because although I am a nerd, I'm not really more of like I'm not a huge movie nerd, or like franchise movie nerd, to say the least, and everything. I think it's with Top Cow Comics and Image Comics, because like Image is on here, Core and Eidos, but I don't know where Core or Eidos are. And yeah, like it's a cool cover though, to say the least. You got like this femme fatale here with like this like scary claw arm and everything, and then you got like Lara Croft in the background just like looking at you like, what's up? Like, why'd you kill my dog or something? But that sort of went dark quick. Yeah, that's about it. That's all I really know about it. I'm gonna say this now because I probably am gonna forget to say it. In the recap section, aka the second half of this video, I'm going to talk about these comics and why they were put into this box, or why they're important, and the price, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, let's move forward to the next comic here, comic number 3. We got this one. Ooh, okay, so this looks like it's a Marvel comic, because most Marvel comics in the like late 80s and 90s have this on it. And you got this Spider-Man alien head and everything, and they're sort of just getting tossed into like somewhere. Let's just take a look though. So this is a West Coast Avengers issue number 20. It came out in May. It's priced at 75 cents US, 95 cents Canadian, and it came out around 1987. And I know that just because, like, if you look at this part here where the faces are, it normally says a trademark. So you know around that time. Late 80s, early 90s, that kind of thing. You have on here, you got such Avengers as Hawkeye, you got the Cheetah Lady, and 2 other people there. I'm not 100% sure because I don't really recognize them. But yeah, and it says here at the bottom, the Sands of Fire, and obviously this is a West Coast Avengers and everything. And it's sort of weird, like the West Coast Avengers is sort of weird. Like, it's weird to me because I don't feel like, I know right now in like the modern age, they're not as relevant, or they're not as prevalent of a series as they were, as I know, in the 80s and everything. So I think that's the thing that's interesting to me, is seeing that like the West Coast Avengers itself, like being so popular in the 80s with these really cool covers and everything, but now it's like, I don't see this series, like this type of series going on. Like I don't see it as much in modern day and everything. And like, what happened to the East Coast Avengers? Like, that's probably a stupid question, but like, what happened with them? If there's a West Coast, why isn't there an East Coast? But that's just me. Moving forward, we got 2 more comics to go, and we got the print. So let's take a look at the print. Ooh, okay. So this is obviously, I think this is a Catwoman print and everything. I forget who this is by, but I'll check the recap card. So this is the Catwoman print by artist Piper and everything. I don't mind this print. I don't mind it, but like the Wolverine print from last month's box is a lot better. I like it. I'll give it a thumbs up. It's not bad. Like, it has this really great realistic sort of essence to it and everything, and even like the sort of subtle details here with like the bat tattoo, where even the bat's in the background and everything, and even like the cat. But like, I feel like part of it is just like, I don't see like this being Selena Kyle, and like I don't mind this like sort of portrait look and everything, though. I'll say that I don't mind it, because like you could probably put it in a really cool frame and it could be a part of like a haunted house or something, or that kind of thing. That's the vibe I'm getting off of it. So I like it for that reason. I'll say that. But I wouldn't say I love it, but I like it just for the reason that, okay, you could probably put this in this like really cool frame, and it could be a part of like, it could sort of be like a really cool like sort of background like picture that you could hang, that you can make up some fake story about. But yeah, moving forward to our second last comic here, comic number 4 or 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Moving forward to our second last comic here, comic number 5. It is this one. So this is Spawn issue number 9, I think. Yeah, issue number 9 or 10. It has obviously the Canadian and the US pricing. This would have come out probably early 2000s, I would assume. Maybe late 90s, early 2000s, somewhere around that time. This is cool. I like this cover because it's sort of like that battle-torn area and everything, and you just got like this one character just standing there being all high and mighty, and you got like sort of Spawn on the ground just spawning out in a way. Let's sort of take a look though. So, obviously, because this is a Spawn comic, it's done by famous artist, Mr. Todd McFarlane. And when I say obviously, it's obviously done by him because, like, literally, dude, I have some respect for him in the fact of how much he cares for his characters and everything in his story. But at the same time, I'd like to see maybe like something different with Spawn. But like that's just me. But Spawn issue number 9. This is pretty cool. I like this cover and everything. I like the little Spawn logos on the ground. There's a lot of. It's hard to describe it on camera because there's so much detail, but like there's like just the detail and like everything and like the sort of in her weapon and everything, and even on the ground with the Spawn shield and the cape and her like cutting it up and everything, and even I think right here there's like a bunch of Spawn faces and everything. Like it adds a lot of context without it having to. It adds a lot of context to the story without it being too sort of crazy. But yeah, I like it though. I think it's pretty cool and everything. I think this is an interesting cover to say the least. I like it though. Like it feels very much Todd McFarlane, and then it's also with that white background sort of brings everything out. So yeah. Lastly but not least, so let's take a look at our exclusive comic in this month's box. Let's take a look. So this is. Okay. Ooh, sorry. I was gonna like do a whole intro, and then I'm like, okay, this looks pretty cool. So this is Spider-Woman, issue number 1. This is a new series and everything, and this is the exclusive attached to the actual series itself, and everything. This is obviously the Comic Tom exclusive, and this is really cool. Like I was reading. I have it here. I got this from the thrift store. It's like an Essentials X-Men book. It's like a trade, literally, of like 400 pages of just Essential X-Men from the Claremont age and everything, and the David Cockrum age and everything. And it had Spider-Woman in it, and like literally, I was like, "Yo, Spider-Woman's pretty sick." And like seeing this cover now, like this cover is pretty sick. And yeah, like even like you see, okay, you got the electricity shooting out of her hands, but like subtly too, you can see in her hair they put a little bit of red in it and everything just to help it pop a bit more, or it's more of a pink, but you can sort of see it now and everything. And this is a pretty cool cover. Like I like it. I didn't initially like it, but I think it's really cool. Like this is sick. Like and everything. The variant cover is done by this talented artist Oliver Copiel and everything, and I think it's done really well. And I like the fact that like we're getting a new artist here, because like literally the past 2 exclusives, as much as I freaking love them, I want to see somebody different. I don't want to see in-Hickley variants every freaking time. And I'm happy we're getting something different. So yeah, Spider-Woman issue number 1. It's a variant edition, and I gotta give a thumbs up to that and everything. And like also, I've literally said this in every unboxing, but it has this like really great sleeves and everything, and the adhesive back, which I freaking love. So yeah. Besides that though, those are all the comics in this month's box, plus the print and everything. The recap card, just basically, we got the recap card here with the Artist Piper sort of variant, or like print at the front of it. And I like this. This is pretty cool. I like the crows and everything, that edition. But yeah, basically it just does the exact same thing that it said in February's box, where it talks about, okay, this is the, talks about the fact that this is the Spider-Man number 1 variant and everything. And then it also talks about the Catwoman print that I showed you that I sort of want to get framed because I think it looked pretty cool. And then just talked about if you'd want to get into the raffle and everything. and how that would all work, through Instagram, and then how the discount code for Key Collector and Scout Comics. So yeah, but yeah, that's about it for this half of the video. Stick around for the second half of the video where I go through and recap each of the comics in this month's box. Hey everyone, and welcome to the second half of the video, the recap section. In this section, we go between the panels and discover why these comics are included in this month's mystery mail call. But before I do, I just want to say and mention some of the websites that I used for the research of these comics and their prices. So the websites I used are eBay, Key Collector Comics, mycomicshop.com, Wikipedia, and YouTube. I also just realized that I should say that most of these prices are Canadian prices, so some of the comics may be worth more depending on the exchange rate. With that being said though, let's take a look at the comics. Comic number 1 is one that finally answers the East Coast versus West Coast debate. It's West Coast Avengers issue number 20. The comic features the West Coast Avengers part 4 of 7 in the Lost in Space and Time storyline. Hence the Sands of Time text on the cover and the team being in the sandpit. They are on their way to see Rama Tut in ancient Egypt. The comic features characters like Ghost Rider, Mockingbird, and cameos from the Two Gun Kid and Rawhide Kid. The comic is priced at $2 highs, which honestly does suck, since it would be cool to have a Key comic, but not all these comics can be Key comics. The next comic in this box is Teen Titans issue number 45 from DC Comics. This comic is a part of a 3-part storyline about Aqualad, Aquagirl on Death's doorstep. But with the help of Wally West and Francesca Kane, that may change. That's it story-wise, and value-wise this comic is worth between $3 to $12 depending on the grade, which honestly isn't too bad. Comic number 3 on this list is Buffy the Vampire Slayer issue number 3. Now, personally, I really like this cover. I'm pretty sure it's a Virgin variant, or honestly, it looks close enough to a Virgin variant. Now, this cover is a G cover. Meaning that this comic was either so popular that they made 8 different variant covers for the 3rd issue, or Boom Studios wanted to make 8 different covers for their 3rd issue. But that's like a mystery to me. Let me know down in the cover if you can solve that mystery. Preferably down in that pinned comment that I'll have. Speaking of mysteries though, that's a part of this comic story. The comic story centers around Buffy and gang doing some investigating work in the town of Sunnydale and looking at their past history in order to find information upon the history of Hellmouth. Now, the comic is valued between $4 to $8 highs, and that definitely sucks, since the comic has a simply well done cover. But maybe if they had fewer covers, then maybe the comic would have done better. The next comic here on this list is comic number 4, Witchblade Tomb Raider issue number 1. This is a crossover comic from Top Cow Comics, a company I'd never heard before, and Image Comics. The comic story centers around Sarah and Laura going on an adventure to find an ancient idol, since it has the power to transfer powers of an ancient Egyptian goddess to them. The comic is worth around $3, but is sold on eBay between $12 and $42. With that being said though, let's take a look at our last 2 comics. Now, with 2 more comics to go, let's take a look at comic number 5, Spawn, issue number 9. Spawn, issue number 9 is about Angela, a Spawn-killing assassin. You know, the lady on the cover? That's her. From the Dark Ages, who has come to kill this modern-day Spawn, only to be defeated. This comic is priced between $15 in high grade raw to $100 for a 9.6 CGC graded comic. That is actually really, really cool. Because like low-key, I got like a Spawn issue number 8, so I'm tempted to collect some of the lower issues of Spawn just to have like 1 to like 10 or something like that. Like I'm tempted to have it just for that reason, and then maybe just flip them. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Just to have like a really high grade comic and a high value comic in this box. So yeah, moving forward to our last comic on this list, it's comic number 6. It's the exclusive for this box. Comic number 6, it's Spider-Woman issue number 1. This comic is the one I really want to talk about because this comic is frustrating, and not just for this box. So let me tell you why. It is absolutely horrible to find on Comixology, on the Key Collector, and all that kind of stuff. It is absolutely horrible. Like SEO wise, it's horrible. Like somebody needs to get their stuff together when it comes to search engine optimization. Go search that up yourself if you want to know what SEO means or search engine optimization means. It's basically just like finding it online. In like layman's terms. But yeah, like you literally, like that's the thing I get frustrated with this comic, is you literally have to spell it out word for word. You can't be like, oh, I'm gonna do Spider-Woman in one thing. No. You can't just do Spider-Woman, no hyphen. No, you gotta do it with the hyphen and like space it right. It's, for somebody who doesn't spell stuff right, it's slightly frustrating. That's my mic drop. But yeah, so yeah, I'm taking shots at those companies and everything, because I'm not a perfect speller. So yeah, let me just end my rant there about that, and let me tell you a bit about the comic. So this is Spider-Woman's first solo series since Secret Invasion that I know of. Also, this comic focuses on Jessica Drew taking a security job to get back on her feet. This also leads to an attack against her, leading to crazy events unfolding. This comic has sold between $35 to $55 on eBay raw, so I think that this comic would sell between those 2 points. Besides that though, I really do like this cover. Like, I think it's simple, but it has a bit of pizzazz there with that white background. Besides that though, those are all the comics in this month's box and my opinions about them. So yeah. Let me know down below in the pinned comment what your thoughts are about this month's box. Let me also know your thoughts about the 8 different covers in the Buffy the Vampire Slayer issue and everything. Do you think that's a little bit too crazy? Let me know down below. Check out the comic of the week. It is a Rogue. Rogue. It's a trade issue and everything. I really enjoyed that. I found that at a thrift store. I'm like, ooh, it was really good, and stuff. Besides that though, I know I'm just ranting about stuff. Feel free to do the typical YouTube stuff like the liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And let me know your thoughts about this box down below. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. You guys have a good night. Oh, and check out all the pricing and information down below for the box and everything. Bye!